Until then, nope, a nope, a nope, a nope, definitely nope, a nope, nope, probably never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. Oh no.
Hey guys, it's Dag. It's Tuesday night and it's Tataru Tuesday, which means that I'm back in Eorzea and I'm ready to sit here and talk. If you guys followed me last week, I queued up for this Castrum Fluminis, which is another gated trial that I have to complete before I can move on in patch 4.3. And I sat here for 25 minutes going, you know, and I'm sure I had to cut all this section out of the edit and everything when I posted it to the Red channel. But yeah, I'm ready to have to do this again tonight. I just checked a minute ago and the queue is only 6 minutes long. So I want to get into this real quick. I got this going on again tonight. All right. I want to get into this real quick and just let you guys all know that this is a charity stream. I am sponsoring a charity until the beginning of the year. And I've been doing the charity since the beginning of November, so it is what it is at this point. And I'll explain the QR code and the little banner at the top. And in order to do that, I'm just going to roll this real short, like minute-long tape, and I'll be back. Hi guys, it's Dag. This holiday season, I want to take a moment to talk about something that's deeply important: food insecurity here in the United States. Hunger doesn't draw lines. It doesn't care about where you're from, what you believe, or what you look like. It touches families in every community, people just trying to get by. Right now, 1 in 5 school children go to class hungry. More than 47 million people across the country face hunger every single day. And the truth is, you don't have to look very far to find these folks. They might be your friends, your classmates, your neighbors, or even a coworker. They're people just trying to do their best to make ends meet. And that's why my streams through year end are dedicated to supporting feedingamerica.org. It's a charity that helps fund and supply local food banks across the United States. So if you can, please consider donating. Every little bit helps put food on someone's table and hope in their heart. Together, we can make a real difference this holiday season. Love you. Peace out. All right. I wanted to mention that I wanted to let you guys know that so far through the end of November, I've had exactly 1 donation. That's it. And it was an extremely generous donation, so I'm not going to discount that at all. And I definitely thank the person that extended the well wishes and threw in some money on this thing, because that was not an insignificant donation. But I want to mention that I play 3 different games. I play Final Fantasy, I play World of Warcraft, and I play SWTOR, Star Wars: The Old Republic. And so I decided to do a little competition and see which of the communities can give the most amount, not dollar amount, but the most number of donations. And so far, I've just got 1 donation coming from Final Fantasy. So there's plenty of opportunity for the rest of you folks to jump in and either smash Final Fantasy and get them going and like leave all the rest behind. Or if you are a follower of one of my other streams, Star Wars on Wednesday and Thursday, or World of Warcraft on Sunday, then you guys can do it then. So that's all I'm going to say. If you have the ability to give some money to the donation bucket, I would really appreciate it. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So thank you very much. All right, let's get going with this. Where is my button? There it is. Doesn't help if I have my cup of tea sitting right in front of it. All right, let's see how long this is going to take, and then we'll have to do this. Come on, join. All right, Still, it's just a 6-minute wait time. Okay, so it could be 6 minutes, it could be 12 minutes. One way or another, I gotta wait for this anyway. I had ballooned up to a point where I needed, oh, I'm in, yay, okay, let's go. Let's see if I can remember how this goes, because I looked at description and I looked at the information regarding how to go about doing it, and it's like, okay, there's a lot of like the full moon and the dark side, and it's going to be interesting to see how, if I can remember all this crap, you know. It's like trying to remember. It's like, okay, you don't want to get 5 stacks or you're dead. Okay, I remember that one. So that's probably one of the most important ones, other than just stay out of the shit.
Oh, it's going to be a long. What?
I'm having trouble seeing. Oh, stay there. Okay, I could be here. Get back in the middle. Okay, I gotta watch for. Let's see, I need to watch for the ads, right? Is there actually some guy that's just sitting there?
Drag them. Your death will be all the sweeter.
Oh, we lost one. Oh. Okay, that's the area AoE that I can't do anything about, but I'm still alive. All right. I'm trying to figure out what this suffering is all about, because I have no idea. Phase 2. Here we go.
The spider lily. From mortal I rise on you. Diffused with night, I shall prevail.
Okay, I'm on the dark side. Where's my stacks? Oh, shit. Oh, oh God. I didn't pay attention to the stacks. Shit. Didn't I say that was the one thing I needed to, like, pay attention to? And I didn't do it. All right, where are my stacks? I need to put the stacks down below.
What? Like the myth. What? Diffused with night, I shall prevail.
My stacks.
Your end is near.
Did I die again? Crap. Oh,
From sunless gloom, black tendrils trail. No, not yet. Not yet. I'll grind you under my heel.
back. Everyone stack.
I'll grind you under my heel.
Oh, did I die again? All right. Don't do it.
What?
Unfortunately, I'm dead. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to exit. All right. Wow. Okay. I received a commendation. They got to be crazy. Oh, God. All right. I'll take it, though. Thank you. Oh. Oh, you just want to slap him upside of the head. Obviously, he took out his sister.
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of souls. A threat that must be put down. My, such hostility. These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe? Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
Yeah, about that. Up.
Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This doorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point. It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Doma. I would have repaid his faith. No one alive loves him more than I! Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Wow. Okay. Sister dearest, who just got him? Someone got him. Oh!
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance. These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied.
Okay, do you like her better as a blonde or as a brunette?
You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength just for you.
Are they both gone?
What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead. Her happiness was never to be. Not in this world.
Oh, bummer.
I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Kusetsu and his persimmon. Oh. That's kind of sad. I kind of wanted a Gasetsu Setsu. But not to happen, I guess. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, she's back.
Lord Xenos.
Oh, shucks. He's still alive. Oh, migraine time.
Lord Xenos. I am at your disposal.
Dispose all. Garbage disposal.
Asai, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so.
So it had nothing to do with her. It was all this Xenos' idea. Okay, I get it. Here's a mirror.
The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
Well, I got made
The
short
icon
work
is
of.
merely a message.
3 times.
The pacifist teachings of the populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent.
He didn't understand the rest of the comment, right? That was just, okay. Figures.
I will not fail you, my lord. My master, Lord Xenos, he will come for you.
You have prevailed,
John.
I see.
Oh no, Gasetsu.
She is gone.
Is that a question?
Wherefore did the kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
I noticed they just cleaned everything up.
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Lord Hien!
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale. I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
How can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw
so
his
we
body
thought.
with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion.
The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
Records can be doctored. There's a conspiracy.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an impostor has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd.
Inconceivable.
But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late ambassador's second-in-command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Except
Then
for the
let us be
crystals
about
and
it.
shit.
'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Probably.
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk his life on countless occasions. Next to him, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
Tis not for me to stop you, but I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
Yes, dear sister.
I shall be on my best behaviour. Farewell, my friends.
Off to Garlemald. All right, and this should be the end of the primary agreement. I knew Asahi was planning some manner of treachery, but a summoning? Thank the kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yosuyu's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, aye, but she still had a choice. I like that. She was a pawn, aye. I keep hearing like Scotty in my ears. I'm sorry. It's like, aye, she's taking it as much as she can, Captain. All right. She chose to submit to the ambassador's plan. 'Tis little wonder Gasetsu departed in silence. Okay. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibun before the battle began in earnest, but the vessel yet awaits on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us and make for the Enclave together. It would be a shame to miss the joyous reunion. Oh, we're going to have a reunion. Well, this should actually... Is this the end of that quest? So I have 2 more quests as part of patch 4.3. And here come all the folks. It's a party! Oh, that's right. These are all the people. Okay. So they were the ones that were being held and captive. Got it. All right.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
Or, wait a second. I've been seeing some of the interactions. It's like, is that the mom going to go poof upside of the head of this person? It's like, wait a second, Ma, I didn't do it, honest. Oh. You got to tell them stand up? Oh, okay, good. And now on with their lives. Except for Gasetsu.
Ah, there you are.
He's looking rather dashing. And he shaved his hair.
Gosetsu, your hair.
Okay, we're talking Reddit / bald. Dude! It was time.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
Oh, let's see. Safe travels. Don't leave us, Gasetsu. Let's see what he says.
This is no forlorn and final farewell. Send me on my way with a smile, my friend.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness. and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.
Get out. Go away. See ya. Bye. All right, let's talk to Hien. Oh, it's raining. Ah, Gasetsu, fair journey to you, my friend. A bittersweet occasion, but there's yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray join us in the Kain-kan. I would thank you properly. All right, in other words, let's get out of the rain. Go inside. Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Yes, please. Our brothers and sisters are returning to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It is a day that will live long in infamy, no, memory, and one that would never have dawned without the courage or courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you, I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. The Xenos lives in a source of grave concern, mayhap the gravest, yet there is little to be done but wait for Alphanods to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gasetsu, by building a nation in which none need live in fear. Sounds like a cool place. Sigh. I confess, I miss him already, but the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. Wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yotsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and in Yutsuyu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to him. After the loss of his family, Gasetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance without hesitation or complaint. Though Suyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. With that, the kami have been so minded. Even now, I labor to discern any meaning in Yusuyu's fate. To deliver her from the certain death with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepmother. Can that truly have been their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of Kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is that for a brief moment, a girl by the name of Suyu lived among us. Yes? And that she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. All right. So endeth the primary agreement. All right. And now we go on to quest. And the next quest is Under the Moonlight. And who do I talk? Oh, Elissei. Okay. Hello. I need to talk with you now. Elissei seems ready to bid farewell to Doma. Let me get out of this place. I think it's time that we were going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. But before we head back to the Rising Stones, let's call in Rhalgar's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Lise about Xenos. After everything we went through together, we owe her that. All right, so we're off to Rhalgar's Reach. Okay. I guess I could just go there from here, huh? Rhalgar's Reach. Where is it? Rhalgar's Reach. All right. Where do I go to finish this? Oh, is that it? Yes. Okay. Is she standing under the tent again? Probably. Going up to the tent here. Hello. Long time no see, Lise. Chad, Elissei, you're back. No Alphanod? Now we got rid of him. He's gone. It's good to see you, Lise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garlemald. They're like, what the hell? It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. What? But that's... If this is a joke, gods, this had better be a joke. And it's not a joke. We don't joke about stuff like that. Look, I know what I saw, all right. We all saw it. And here you are saying he's alive and well and living the high life back in Garlemald? Sort of, I guess. I know how ludicrous this sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing in it myself. But while I doubt the word of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust Chad's. He saw the Crown Prince through the Echo. A meeting in that could have only taken place in the recent past. No, it must have been, I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter. Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck. He buried himself. We buried him. Aye, and someone went to the trouble of desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? That's gilded halls. Whatever are you talking about? Thancred, what brings you to the Reach? Proper timing. Alphanod had me lend a hand at the Saltery, keeping an eye on the rebuilding and work and so on, just until operations were up and running. And now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before wending my weary... Okay, wending my weary way back to headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but is that some suggestion that the late Crown Prince could have gotten better? If so, might I suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business? Urgh. As much as I hate the man, it doesn't feel right defiling his grave. But if it will put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. And when there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried up at Blood How in the Locks. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked so as not to upset the locals. Then it shouldn't be too hard to find. It's unmarked. It's going to be tough to find. Come on now. Nago, you're in charge until I get back. All right, we got Lise along, so things are good. At least for Chad. All right, speak with Lise at Blood. Where? Blood How? Where the hell is that? It's over there. But how do I get there? Okay. So I'm going to take Porta Pretaria. Yes. And then go over there. And yeah, let me get rid of that in the background. Hello. Now I should be able to fly, right? Why, yes, I can. Which way am I headed? That way. Do 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 do. I guess I gotta stand over. I'll just stand up here. This is it. Gods, he'd better be in there. Someone scrawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had it scrubbed off and thought no more about it. Graffiti? So no one thought to check if the coffin was still occupied? Well, then we are presented with but one course of action, and we had best be sure we are not observed in doing it. Shall we begin? I guess I need to get off the top of the sarcophagus. And the verdict is... Are we looking inside?
We seem to be missing a corpse.
No, we're not going to look inside. Oh, yeah, we are.
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
Not being observed. And here we are. Who's this? Okay. If there's no corpse, then, are we to conclude the rumors are true? Not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphanod's theory of Asian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. You're saying an Asian is walking around in Xenos' body? Oh, that makes sense, yeah. There seems a distinct possibility. Once I've put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to people responsible for interring the crowned prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to know for sure if a body was ever buried here, and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. Was he dead, or was he just deaded? Okay, if he wasn't, that was some trick. He's as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, the Raban needs to hear about this. Not the Raban, but yeah, the Raban. If you find anything out, send word to me at Ralgar's Reach. I'll be there. I don't know why I'm surprised. With matters settling down in Doma, we were due another crisis. Of course. Shall we make for the Rising Stones, then? It's past time we shared these developments with the others. See you, bye. Think was just going to hang out there. No, he's going to go talk to folks. That's right. And we're suddenly back in the Rising Stones. Hey, well, that was a neat trick. Thank you. While I'm waiting for you to arrive, all that like half a second, I spoke with Uringer over Link Pearl and gave him a full report. Yustola is on her way and should be here any... And here she is, right? Alice A. Chad, 'tis good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the east? Well, we're missing a body. Not just any body. Disturbing developments indeed. Given all that we know, I too would conclude that the Ascian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but Chad? Nay, Alphanod had the right of it. Would that his wisdom extended to the question of his own safety, capable though he has become, he ventures alone into the enemy's stronghold, and the shadowy web of the Paragons like as not. And I ponder how I ponder. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm going to. I'm worried. I just wish there were something I could do for him besides pray. Are we talking about her brother? I missed that part. All right, and that was the end of Under the Moonlight. Okay. So we've got one quest left in 4.3. Yeah, Emissary of the Dawn. Oh, Daddy dearest, we cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear, the icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead and the right beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan, every party behaving exactly as required. My methods may seem extreme, but there is no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of this star. Meanwhile, back at the junkyard. Wow, okay. What are you doing fiddling with that thing? I asked you a question, soldier. What are you? Have you lost your mind? Why, yes, I have. Many times over. Okay, dead at him. I have lost many things, but my mind is yet my own. I like the way they describe this. It's a katana-wielding soldier. Yes, okay. There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final bow, only to find that the finale was but an intermission. Okay, Blue Eyes. Shall I use this chance to repent for my sins? Embrace goodness and mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. Nice smile. Oh, cool helicopter. I want one of those. An Imperial chopper. All right, we don't need that. What do you think, LSA? With thoughts of Alphanod's plight weighing heavily in her mind, LSA might welcome some company. What is this? Ponder. Oh, I get to do a ponder emote. Okay. Before I click this and go on about it, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in a flush. Hang in there. I'm back. All right, let's get on with this. With thoughts of Alphanod's plight weighing heavily on her mind, LSA might welcome some company. It's been an event. What kind of company does she want? It's been an eventful few days, hasn't it? But I suppose all we can do now is wait for word from Alphanod. Well, you can go jump in Orange's arms. He'd gladly give you some company. I don't recall the last time I had nothing pressing to be getting on with. We should probably make the most of it. Shall I put on some tea? Something stronger, please. Tea would be lovely. You may regale me with the tale of your adventures in the Far East and of your encounter with this new primal especially. I'll put the that was not fun. Yeah. I'll put the kettle on then. The table looks free if you'd like to take a seat. So I need to go and sit down. I guess that's what I'm going to do. Yes, you can fulfill this. Upon sitting at a table, several cutscenes will play in sequence. All right. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. All right, here we go. Yes, I'm going to sit at the table and I'm going to sit back. Wait, I got to unlock my chair. Interesting. So this Tsuyoyomi was summoned in much the same manner as Usano, via the medium of a sacred relic. That's right, they believe their gods, or kami, reside in physical objects. Given the danger they represent, it may behoove us to begin a catalog of such relics, but if we are to contain the threat, we will require a better understanding of the summoning method itself. I believe I shall pay a visit to Doma and learn what I can on the subject. A fine idea, and I know for a fact that our friends in Doma would be grateful for any information which could help to prevent further summoning in the region. I will pen you a letter of introduction. Lord Heian will wish to welcome our resident experts on etherology. I was like, what? Thancred. Greetings. Could that be in time for tea? I'd be in time for tea. It certainly looks that way. Come on, sit down and tell us how your investigation went. MMOs, you don't drink tea, you drink beer. Come on. Well, okay, whatever. I forgot. This is a Japanese MMO, so yeah, tea it is. After you left, I went about questioning Bloodhouse, what? Oh, Bloodhouse gravekeepers. They all told much the same story. Once Elise and her officers had confirmed Xenos dead, his corpse was interred under strict supervision. There seems little reason to doubt their testimony on that point, but when I mentioned the defacement of Xenos' grave, accounts grew rather more vague. None reported having seen any suspicious person in the vicinity, and all assumed the act to have been perpetrated by a vengeful Alamegan. Crucially, however, I was able to confirm that when the offending scroll was removed, as per Lisa's instruction, no one involved thought to check the contents of the coffin. By that stage, 'tis like that the corpse was already missing. We already knew this. This is nothing new, right? I mean, okay, whatever. Keep going. Assuming Xenos has not, in fact, risen from the dead, we are left with two possibilities. Either the body was disposed of to lend credence to the claims of the extremely committed imposter, or an Ashian has taken up residence within it. What do you think, Chad? If Asahi was a fervent devotee, as you believe, it would not have been fooled by an impersonation, however committed. We must assume that we are dealing with an Ashian and proceed accordingly. Agreed. The question is, how many more such monsters are waiting for Alphanod and Garlemald? Their presence was his chief reason for going. He understood the risks. I only hope he did not underestimate the extent of the infestation. Time to call Clark. I got bugs. Get rid of this infestation. Meanwhile, on the Imperial Hypersonic Assault Craft LXX-5. Okay. It's the hyper assault. Yeah, he's looking at the numbers and going, okay. Oh, this Alphanod gets to fly on the ultrasonic assault craft. Master Alphanod, we are making good speed towards our destination. It is Artemis. Nay, 'tis just I can see not from my cabin and was curious to know the land over which we flew. I'm afraid our military craft are built with little thought of such niceties. I am happy to indulge your curiosity, however, while I hang you over the side by your feet. I don't know, maybe. We are presently passing over the burn on the western edge of Authard. Even with the benefits of the porthole, your gaze would have been greeted with naught but malms upon malms of lifeless earth. I've read something of the burn. It was described as a desolate wasteland, bled dry of every drop of ether, last drop of ether. Aye, Captain. It was believed that a succession of icon summoning was responsible. When Emperor Solus first came to Authard and beheld this blight, he is said to have reeled at the scale of the devastation. He declared icons a threat to our very star's existence and issued an empire-wide decree ordering the eradication of all such entities. Kill them all. Uh-oh. Did we run into something? Hung? Report. Is hung like the... Okay, Imperial pilot, I guess not. We're under attack, sir. Magitech armor, no visible designation. Magitech, but who? Ah! All cannons, return fire, damage report. Shields are holding. Oh, the main reactor's been hit. Helm, unresponsive. We're going down, sir. Damn it. They knew exactly where to hit us. Con! Sorry. Okay. Yeah. All right. Damn it. If they knew exactly where to hit us, all hands brace for impact. Glad to have you back, Master Alphanod. We have landed in one piece, more or less. But the air filtration system is damaged and the ship is filling with smoke. We must gather the survivors and get out while we still can. Aye. All right. Aye. Duty calls commence battle for Emissary of the Dawn? Really? This is Emissary of the Dawn is the next quest. Oh, okay. All right, proceed. Level 70. So they're going to downgrade me. What am I doing down here? Oh, Alphanod. In the incoming battle, you will fight as Alphanod. Does that mean I am a... Oh, okay. Search. Let's see. Master Alphanod, might I ask you... I guess Alphanod's going to be a monk, huh? Or no. No, he's not. Oh! Okay, this is cool. So he is going to be... he's going to be he's going to be a summoner, I guess. All right. So what do we do? Where do we go? What am I supposed to do? I got half an hour to figure this out. Am I supposed to go back this way? I don't know. They told me to do something, but I don't... see what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so it's all going to be within this area. All right, we'll find out where the border is at least. Okay, so it's just in this area. We'll see how far it goes. Yep, not that far. What am I supposed to do with this? Destroy the airship wreckage. Oh, destroy the airship wreckage. Okay, got it. All right. So, is this part of the wreckage? I guess it is. So is he assisting? Use physic to help. Where's physic? I don't see it. Physic. There we go. Revive the wounded soldier. My thank. I don't think I would have made it. All right. Now what? Yes, you have very likely saved his life. The question of who would try to... Oh, I see. These guys. They are going to try. Okay. Well. They're not ready to come to parley, I fear. Ready your weapons. I'm waiting for Starstorm to show up, but it's not. I don't think he can do a dragon kick. What do you think? I was trying to do, like, change the style that my companion fights with, but you don't get a full-blown summoner thing, so... I would think that someone who hasn't played summoner at all would be really confused. They'd be like, who? I guess that's why they only give you, like, one attack or two attacks. They're coming back for another pass. Confound it, not here, not like this. Someone shot him. Oh, okay. What? Who in the Emperor's name? Enemies of our enemies. Instructions can wait. Introductions can wait. You're calm in a crisis, Master Alphanod. Let us finish this then. Okay, we got all kinds of fun stuff going on here. One more. Just when you thought it was safe. Oh, now we've got Starstorm, whatever that is. It's not something that it's letting me use. Oh, I see what's going on. I don't know what this is. Deals unexpected damage. Whatever. Okay. I think I like being a caster better than being a melee. What can I say? Now we get to meet these guys. My thanks. Your intervention proved most timely. Well, well, I did not think to meet an Eorzean in this place, let alone a scion. How's he know? You know of me, sir? I have some small history with your order. But I would speak of the present. Know you your assailants and the severity of your predicament? The soldiers bore the insignia of the Emperor's personal guard. And I would venture to guess as to their motive, but you yet have us at a disadvantage, sir. Will you not tell us who you are? Our names are not yours for the asking, and as for our purpose, let this be your answer. An Ascian mask. Okay. The face of our prey. We must away before more arrive. Come with us or stay, but make your choice now. I guess we're going with them, aren't we? Even should we manage the long trek out of the burn and secure passage to the capital, we would no doubt be greeted by the Emperor's guard. Indeed, we accept your gracious offer. Shadow Hunter will suffice for the present. Come. Oh, he keeps a whole slew of them, huh? That's cool. Plus a white one. Okay, and what is this doing? Ugh, this is intolerable. But as much as I wish it were otherwise, there is nothing we can do for Alphanod now but pray for his success. Well, that is not entirely true. While your brother journeys to Garlemald from the east, I would make my way there from Alamigo and find out what there is to be learned in the Empire's western provinces. And I'm coming with you. You can't very well sit here sipping tea if there's action to be taken. Forgive me, Alisay, but the provinces are hostile territory, and the stealth is all important. It is safer that I go alone. I can sneak well enough when the situation demands it. Don't patronize me. I'll go with them, because they're going to send me anyway. And how exactly would that be any better? I must refuse your company as well, my friend. Formidable though you are, the success of my mission depends on moving unnoticed. And lest you forget, you have grown rather famous. Yeah, I trust you understand. Chat fist. Famous. All right. Sigh. Fine. Just promise you'll be careful. No, he's never careful. All right, and what is this then? I get to talk to Alice. Everyone's standing out here. It seems that praying is to be the extent of my contribution after all. But I will stay behind as I have been bid. God, okay. Well, all we have are talents. Mine just happen to involve a silver tongue and soft souls. I promise to send word the moment I learn aught of consequences. See that you notify me too. I mean to depart for Doma as soon as I find a suitable East Aldenard vessel to bear the thither. I shall return if I am needed. Okay, Estola, thank you. Be sure to drop in whenever you're next in the area, Chad. With any luck, I'll have painfully detailed report from Alphanod to share. And that is the end of Stormblood 3? Yeah. So, that quest was... I have learned the emote Ponder. Okay. Let's see if I can... What does it look like? Nope, that's not it. Okay, / Ponder. That's still not it. Oh, because I'm inside. Never mind. Okay, I'll just look at... Where is it? It's character and emotes. Stance, actions, and traits. Where do they have the emotes? Character, duty, logs, social, party, travel, system, role, traits, duties, orders. None of the above. Extras. Alarm. Idling camera. Group pros. No. Okay, so it's none of those. Duty, logs, travel, party, social. Is it under social? I don't... God. Oh, emotes. It is. Okay. Cap. Oh, there it is. Expressions. Ponder. Okay, so what does ponder look like? / ponder. Make me go, All right, I thought I did that. Execute. But it won't. All right. It won't while I'm here. Okay, fine. Alice is impatiently fussing with her link pearl. This is the beginning of Prelude in Violet. So we're now on to patch 4.4. Prelude to Violet. Prelude in Violet. I like purple, so violet's cool. And this is going to be the sisterly act, right? Yes. Quest. Sisterly act. All right. Alice is impatiently fussing with her link pearl. And what does she have to say? Oh, Chad. If you come here hoping for news, I'm afraid there isn't any. Everything is exactly as it was. The Stola is still investigating primals in the Far East, all of like 5 seconds ago. Thancred is still gathering intelligence in the Imperial provinces, and Alphanod is still out there somewhere. Out there somewhere. Okay. Let's see. There's been no word since his first scheduled report, nor does he respond to calls, and all the while, I am just meant to sit here waiting. It's driving me mad. Mad, I tell you. Begging your pardon, I bear a message from the Eorzean Alliance. Thank the gods for that. We have a visitor. Welcome to the Rising Stone. If you have a message, I should be most eager to hear it. My lady, the Alliance leadership will soon convene to discuss the matter of Ascian interference, and they humbly request the presence of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Oh. So we have to go to meetings and things? Having assessed intelligence provided by the Alamegan resistance concerning the whereabouts of Xenos remains, they too suspect Ascian involvement, and I wish to deliberate a suitable course of action. As the foremost authorities on our foe, your orders, Council, would be most welcome. Of course, we should be glad to assist in whatever way we can. With almost everyone else afield, I'd say this one falls to us, by which I mean I'm not going on my own. You'll come with me, I trust. I'll be nice. Of course I will. There you have it. We accept the invitation. Thank you. The time and date of the meeting will be shared in due course, but I can confirm that the council will take place in Alamigo, by your leave. Huh. See you, bye. I somehow doubt we'll have anything useful to offer, but standing mutely at a meeting would still be better than the nothing that I've been doing of late. Let's make ready to depart, shall we? And I'll nod, probably. Thancred, what's going on, my man? What's going on, man? All right, just be careful on the road back, you hear? Riol. Did I hear right, Riol? Is Thancred coming back? Aye, that he is. Say he's acquired some important intelligence. Oh, another guy with a eye that's covered. Okay, being in Garlean territory, though, he couldn't risk sharing the particulars in case the Imperials were listening in. So he said he'd head back as quick as he could and make sure someone was waiting for him in the Alamegan quarter. Understood. Chad and I will go. We're bound for Alamigo anyway, and there's sure to be time before the council begins. Come on, let's be off. I guess we're heading to Alamigo. Meanwhile, out here, where do I need to go? Alamegan Quarter. Okay, so let's go to the Alamigo. Alamigo. Sure. There it is. And Aurorol is staring up at something. I think she's been staring up at that for a long time. All right, you're not from around here. Can't imagine what call you'd have to chat with me, but by any means, if you've got something to say, ask away. What do you do here? That's the question, isn't it? Now that we're free, what are we peregrines? Well, former peregrines, I reckon. What are we to do with ourselves? And what some of the Garleans call on, meaning foreigner, or some such. Can you believe that? I was foreigner in my own bloody homeland. But no longer. We're free at last. And those imperial whoresons dead, or in chains. Who's a little peregrine now, eh? Okay. What kind of place is this? This is Alamegan Quarter, a residential district and the newest bit of the capital. Though I don't understand new doesn't mean good or anything like that. The closer you live in the royal palace, the more favored you are. So we poor bastards who the Garleans forced to live all the way out here are the lowest of the low, not more than a chattel in their eyes. Aye, we ran and were only fit for manual labor in the eyes of the Imperials, poor as dirt and expendable. Who was to mourn if we got crippled or died doing dangerous work, eh? I tell you, though, while we may have won our freedom, there's still plenty of work to be done. Much of it to the same back-breaking sort, even. But at least we'll be doing it for ourselves and for Alamigo. Okay, nothing. I'm done with you. You can go back to looking up. Thank you. Let's go over here. Oh, it's not in here. I gotta, fly, don't I? Where? Oh, where? Oh, where? It's up on top. Or the other side. There it is. Excuse me while I park my Magitech. Alright, Thancred. What's up? You two are a sight for sore eyes. Now all I need is water for my parched throat. Fetch me a cup, will you? Traipsing through Imperial territory is thirsty work. And I guess I'm getting a cup of water for him.
God, I needed that.
Was it a beer?
I won't bother telling you to catch your breath. Whatever brought you galloping back to us, I assume it's urgent.
Quite. Without further ado, then. After the successful uprisings in Doma and Alamigo, rebels in several other provinces were inspired to follow suit. Unfortunately, they did not fare quite so well. The Dalmascans paid the heaviest price. For their defiance, the Emperor made a show of razing their capital to the ground, prompting many of their neighbors to abandon thoughts of resistance. But not all have given up on liberty. Heartened by the news of Doma's prisoner exchange, some still believe that the Empire may one day be amenable to negotiation. We have the shinobi to thank for spreading the good word. They have worked tirelessly to keep the subjugated informed, and a little knowledge can go a long way.
There is at least a spark of hope, then.
Snitch.
A spark in want of kindling, yes. The Alliance has already begun supplying materiel to resistance movements abroad, many of whom would otherwise struggle to continue the fight. The support effort has been led by the Sultana and the Elder Seedseer, who have both seen enough Alamigan refugees to know the consequences of oppression. And for their troubles, they have quickly earned a reputation as folk heroes in certain corners of the Empire. That is all for the provinces. As for the Garlean motherland itself, our friends the Populares have suffered something of a setback, I regret to say. Talk is rife that Doma has summoned a primal, and the Empire's more liberal voices are being drowned out in the fearful clamour for retribution.
And who do they think orchestrated this summoning?
Oh, any but those truly responsible. Xenos has seen to that. Speaking of whom, the Crown Prince is recovering remarkably well. Well enough, in fact, to enable him to personally tour the provinces, putting the fear of the Emperor into the hearts of any would-be dissidents.
He walks in plain sight, and none suspect him. Then it's as we feared.
Yes. An Ascian wears his skin.
Ew.
But it was not that which brought me here in such haste. During my time in the provinces, I learned many things. Yet at no point did I hear any report of a Doman emissary in the capital.
But Alphonse should have arrived by now. Could they be holding in there in secret?
The possibility did cross my mind, but I have reason to believe he never reached his destination. As you know, Scions assigned to covert operations, such as Riol and myself, are issued special link pearls for communication in the event of an emergency. I mention this because it was originally Alphino's task to coordinate the response at headquarters, meaning he has one. And whose voice should I hear when mine recently crackled to life?
You spoke with Alphino?
Spoke with, no. I but heard his voice, and none too clearly at that. 2 words were all I could make out. The burn.
The burn.
The wasteland on the edge of Otherd. Something must have happened to them there.
I guess we're headed for the burn. Feel the burn!
There's no time to waste. We must make for the burn at once.
Told you.
I had a feeling you might say that.
You think?
And? I can't very well sit around here drinking tea if Alphino's in trouble. You said yourself that this link pill was only to be used in emergencies. So I'm going, and that's the end of it.
Okay, then. You do something with her.
Oh, far be it from me to change your minds.
All right, and let's see. Loath though I am to neglect making preparations for the council, we must act swiftly before Alphanod's trail goes cold. I propose we first pay Heian a visit. He's sure to want to hear about these developments, and he may well be able to advise us on how best to reach the burn. Sound plan, and Ishtola's in Doma, is she not? I dare say she'd join you in the search if you'd ask her nicely. While you see to all that, I shall go and report my findings to the Alliance. You will leave my preparations, any preparations for the Council to me. Thank you, Thancred. Right, to Doma then. We have much and more to share with Ishtola. And she just ran right through me. All right, and I gotta go to Doma. All right, let's teleport to the Doman Enclave. The Doman Enclave. There it is. And we're over here. And I gotta go talk to the... Oh, they're not standing inside the room, and I don't have to talk to the idiot outside the door again. Okay, good. Ishtola. That is curious indeed. While other matters demand my attention at present, I shall bear what you have told me in mind. Should you notice any change, do not hesitate to seek me out. And Doman Miner says, thank you, my lady. You are most kind. He's going to get back to digging. He's got his pickaxe or whatever. Well, well, two faces from the dim and distant past. Come now, it hasn't been that long. Yeah, it was like 20 minutes ago. Who was that you were speaking with? A local miner who supplies crystals for the rebuilding effort. Of late, he claims to have struggled to find a crystal with as much as a trace of elemental energy. I can almost talk. Upon learning that I had some knowledge of ether, he came seeking my counsel. Just now, he brought me one of his recent finds. That reminds me, it's like I haven't seen either of them put on their little face masks and check for ether. And it's like, okay. But she's got hers on her arm, so. It was precisely as he described, devoid of elemental energy and eerily reminiscent of the de-aspected crystals that manifested in Eorza in the days prior to the calamity. We should be wise to investigate this phenomenon more closely. Indeed, but on a more positive note, the locals seem to have taken a liking to you. What can I say? I'm likable. More interest in that than a liking to, I think. The sight of the Mikote with a peculiar contraption upon her head has a certain novelty value in these parts. Any actual regard they may have for me, I owe wholly to you and the others who came before. Everyone here who has been exceedingly cooperative, and I am pleased to report that I have all but concluded my investigation. Simply put, by focusing one's will upon an ether-infused object of worship, it is possible to conduct a summoning. So, the fact that they are objects of worship is the key. They're themselves suffused with the requisite belief. Correct. Such a sacred relic as the Kojin collect obviate the need for religious fervor in the summoner. Yutsuyu being the most obvious example. She had but to associate the artifact given to her by Asahi, which is the mirror, right, with the divine, and it served to amplify her desires and give them form. A form nourished through the power of crystals, also provided by her brother, and thus was Tsukuyumi brought into being. Which brings me to the question of preventative measures, to which I have yet to find a satisfactory answer. At present, I know of naught that will say avail us, save to keep watch over the movement of the relics and crystals, as if I did not have enough to keep watch over already. But I doubt you came all this way to hear that which may be perused in a report. Has something happened to Alphanod? And she looks at me. And then I explain it. Okay. I shall join you in the search, of course. Thank you, Estola. I should be glad for your help, truly. Now, if there's nothing else, I shall go on ahead and request an audience with Lord Heian. Alice puts on a brave face, but she has little talent for concealment. We should join her at the Kian-Kan. At the Can-Can. That's the can. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let me in. Okay, we got all the usual suspects. Greetings, my friend. Alice was explaining all to me. Needless to say, you shall have our full cooperation in the search, even if Alphanod's trail does lead to the burn of all places. And that is the end of Sisterly Act. I need to pick what am I going to have here. Let's see. A popular comfort food with tenacity, plenty, or piety. I don't use piety. Spell speed, skill speed. That's it. Give me some ginger. I never pass up ginger. And that is the end of that quest. The next one is Know Thy Land, I guess. Oh, wait. Feel the burn? And then we go to the burn. Okay. Huh. Know Thy Land. Oh, no. Know Thy Land is the... okay, sorry about that. Know Thy Land is my mining quest that I have sitting over there. All right, so we have finished Sisterly Act. The next quest that we're going to start is called Feel the Burn. And I'm not going to start it tonight because it looks like it leads to another dungeon. And so, yeah, no reason for me to go ahead and go into that because we know I'll be sitting around and waiting. If I don't see you before the next time I see you, have a good day, have a fun afternoon, have a fantastic evening. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate every single one of you who hangs out with me and makes my stream a little bit more fun and enjoyable to do. If you have liked what I am doing, please be sure and give me a thumbs up. Give me a like, give me a follow. Doesn't matter on which channel you're watching, whether it's the red channel or the purple channel, either or. And I shall see you all soon. Love you. Peace out.